Hot news roundup for you today. Summer Games just gets dropped on us. Who saw this coming? This time, Summer Games does have a few changes. For the 3 weeks of the event, you'll be able to earn a spray, a player icon, and then an epic skin, just by simply winning games in quick play, competitive, or arcade. So you want to be sure not to purchase any of these items. I mean, who's purchasing epic skins anyway? But just save your currency and play the game to earn these up. American Reaper looks cool here, but that Roadhog Shark Attack spray is hilarious. Week 2, we get May with another high-quality spray, and Week 3 is Reinhardt, the most adorable spray with Brigitte and Wrecking Ball making a sandcastle. This was a nice and simple addition that I think we're all going to enjoy. But with this patch also came with some game-saving bug fixes. Assuming they work, of course. Sometimes things that are bugged need to get fixed 10 times before they're actually fixed, but Batiste should now be able to heal through Amp Matrix, gaining a healing amp effect that wasn't working. Doomfist Seismic Slam should be more reliable, but the one that I think is most impactful to the gameplay right now is D.Va, who had that big defense matrix bug that stopped it from working if you used it on a corner. Now, the patch note says this has been fixed, but I'll stress this kind of thing, just like with Reinhardt, the way Earthshatter moves, that had to get changed 100 times, so I'm a little bit skeptical that this is 100% fixed, but I hope it is, because D.Va is quite difficult to play right now, and I know many people might be angry for me saying this, but I kind of miss D.Va being good, because the stuff that becomes really powerful when she's too hard to play, well, kind of overpowers the meta a little bit. D.Va was always a good way to keep a lot of that stuff in check, but it also gave us dive meta, so obviously, nobody's ever happy no matter what the balance patch is like. No balance changes on this patch yet. I would expect that since the Overwatch League desk basically shouted it at the screen that 222 will be announced on Thursday, we'll probably see that go to the PTR, as well as maybe a huge balance patch. I have no idea what's in store, but I suspect Thursday will be quite a big day. Also going to the live game, though, is the subtitle feature, where you can select 3 different options of how many things you want to get subtitled. At least critical gameplay would probably be pretty good, because a lot of the characters make voice lines right before they use ultimates, or even more so, Songbird uses a voice line coming out of stealth, giving you an indication right before she might be doing a stealth EMP attack, and other interactions as well. So this is probably a pretty decent high-level option to enable if you are able to read the subtitles while playing anyway. And speaking of all those changes, seems like there's some funny business going on with Season 17. HamDamJ sent this to us on Twitter, where previously it wasn't announced when the season was going to end, but now says it's slated to end in 27 days. And you might say, okay, that's like a month out, seems about right. But in truth, this would make Season 17 significantly shorter than 2 months, which is how long seasons typically last, because it just started on June 30th, meaning Season 17 will be only about 6 weeks long, which also may indicate it's Season 18 that we're going to usher in the 222 roll lock into ranked play. It's a little weird. You'd think they'd buy themselves even more time to usher in this new system, but instead, by doing it this way, it looks like they're putting a clock on it, trying to push it up a little bit faster, I would assume, so that we at home can be playing the roll lock as soon as possible, because the Overwatch League in Stage 4 will have already been kicked off with the roll lock format starting next week, the 25th. So there'll be a period of time where their game's going to look technically different to ours, but I don't think by much. They'll still be more or less running the bunker and ball strats we're running in our ranked games currently. They just won't have the option to go to multi-DPS like we would. Now, the last story of the day is about the announced changes to the Overwatch League 2020 season. Next year, they're making a whole host of changes, and of course, looking to move games outside of LA to be played in the home cities. Some of this is kind of complicated how it plays out, so I'll try to simplify it the best I can. The big change is they're removing stages altogether, and I assume that means the stage playoffs as well. The games will only be played on weekends, but the season will go on with no breaks, essentially, other than the bye weeks teams have. So we'll always have Overwatch on the weekend, and the way those numbers play out, I guess, is that we'll have the same number of games, 28 games per team, with each team playing 2 games inside their conference against every team there, and then 1 game against each team in the other conference over the course of the whole year. I'm pretty interested how this is going to pan out with patches. Maybe they feel they won't need to patch the game as harshly in a 2-2-2 environment, or maybe they like unlock the patch for the whole season, who knows? But the very difficult logistical goal of playing all the matches in home cities has sort of been realized, but I think it's more accurate to say that there will be a homestand every weekend, essentially. Each team will have at minimum 2 homestands, and remember, that's globally, but a few teams will get some extra ones that won't be official homestands, but they've got to set up the league somewhere, it seems, so there might be a bit of extra home field advantage for some organizations. So I think what this is aiming to do is to make sure that all the matches can be played together, because if you think about it, if there was multiple teams playing in different regions and different time zones, well, how would they coordinate the broadcast? Could everything go fluidly together? It looks like, at least for now, for next season, they'll keep it in the format they know works currently with the homestands, taking everybody there. But remember, far less teams will be playing at these homestands because there's only 2 days of games. So it's not like when they're all in LA with 4 days of games, a handful of teams won't even have to go. But I'm still not sure how that all works out. I wouldn't put it past them to try to cram the schedule even further. We currently have 4 games a day. Are they going to increase that to 5 or 6? I'm not a mathematician, and well, let's face it, I'm not good at math at all, so I have no idea how that would pan out mathematically, but we will find out the official schedule next month, so not too far away, and then tickets will go on sale shortly thereafter. This is all pretty cool and ambitious for the Overwatch League. I'm really curious how it's going to pan out when these homestands are going to be set up all across the world, meaning the stream times are going to be all over the place. The Overwatch League seems to take a lot of pride in the numbers that they're able to accumulate on Twitch, and I think there's no way that their concurrent viewers doesn't go down when, say, they're streaming at 3 or 6 a.m. in the West when they're playing some of the games in the East. But compromises had to be made here because it's also important that those home regions get to see their own team play. Of course, that's the far worst example, but it means a lot of us in the West won't be able to watch those matches live, but that's just what many other fans across the globe have already been dealing with. So it will be interesting to see how this all plays out and benefits or hurts the progression of the Overwatch League. They didn't take it quite as far as I thought they might. It's not like they're having multiple home games at once, but this still is a pretty big step forward. So we'll see how that all works out. Before I go, though, I did put a ton of effort into breaking down the insane playoffs run that the Shanghai Dragons went on. That video and many videos like it take an enormous amount of work, so I just wanted to shout it out here at the end. If you're an Overwatch League fan, you should check it out because what the Dragons accomplished was actually historic. Because since the Overwatch League added the reseeding rules, it is way harder for a low seed in a bracket to go on a tear like they did, because they did have to play all 3 of the best teams and beat them. Absolutely insane. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave it a like. It really does help us out, lets us know that you're enjoying the content, and if you haven't already, please subscribe and be sure to hit the bell icon so that you get notified when our videos go live. Link to the description is our Twitter, where we tweet out news, updates, and dank memes. That's been it for me. I've been FREEDO for your Overwatch. We'll see you guys next time.